The 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, once said, quote, "Mankind must put an end to a war before a war puts an end to mankind." To start off, I want to mention and define war. War is a state of armed conflict between different nations. Let me ask you this. Imagine you are in your future. You have a wonderful and beautiful family, but you get a draft letter. You're now in the midst of a battlefield and everyone around you is falling to the ground. And now, it's your turn. The last thing you'll ever see will be the faces of those around you. And the last thing you thought about is the faces of your loved ones and children. Will you want to be in this situation? Well, to keep it simple, countless people in human history have gone through this exact scenario. To be exact, it is estimated that 150 million to 1 billion friends, relatives, and fellow humans have perished because of a war. Why do we have to have a result in endless violence when we see things that are not going our way? Why do innocent people have to die because of the actions of leaders? To me, it seems like people are maneuvered as pawns, fighting sometimes pointless wars that have been solved with a simple yes or no answer. Quote, "I hate war as only a soldier who has lived it can, only as one who has seen its brutality, its stupidity." Dwight D. Eisenhower. Imagine a nation where people could live without fearing a draft letter in their front doorstep. A nation that does not risk lives because of a simple disagreement. A nation that does not gamble with the safety of their civilians. A nation that does not need to worry about living another day. Imagine a nation that makes everyone feel safe and that makes them confident in their safety, in which everyone's main focus is living their best lives and accomplishing their goals. Back in the 1960s, people started going towards that dream. During the beginning of the Vietnam War, an anti-war movement started to emerge. This was the anti-Vietnam War movement. But before we talk about this movement, we need to acknowledge the monks who self-immolated themselves as an act of protest. This was basically done to protect against the South Vietnam's corrupt leader at the time. They took their own lives publicly to make a statement to the government. This was the same thing done in the anti-Vietnam War movement, except it was less taking their own lives. At first, protests took place in the US, but later on moved on to different parts of the world, showing the causes and effect of an anti-war movement. This movement was a spark and basically forced the US and other countries fighting in that war to end combat in Vietnam. Not only that, but it ended the draft in the US. Right now, this is quiet because of their main priority being achieved. But I'm sure that if another war starts to emerge, then these same protesters will rise up against that war. I need you guys to realize that war is a crime in humanity. We need to stop this. We could do this by spreading awareness of the bad thing war does. Not only that, but making sure that if a war does happen, to provide comfort and aid to those around you. War is something that just can't be ignored. If we want to stop war, we need to go against it. War can be like your first ever kiss because you'll never forget it. Thank you.